nature is waking people up, and all the worldly events tries to cover up what nature is doing,
Mm.
right? Because nature is constantly, they say she's getting hotter. Getting hotter in global warming just means that there's more radiation on the planet, more radiation for us to absorb. There's good radiation, there's bad radiation, because it's all frequencies and vibrations. So the solar radiation and the earthly or planetary radiation that we're receiving is empowering us in our consciousness. So I think that as we grow in energy, we're growing in consciousness, which is why you seeing babies hold their head up and punch walls at 2 days old,
Running,
right?
picking up things and talking. Yep.
Yeah, doing backflips. We got little baby Spider-Mans already, and it's because of all this energy on the planet. Like back then, there was not a lot of energy, so there was not a lot of I would say there's not a lot of people who are at the highest state of consciousness or just at a high state of consciousness in general.
I
So
have another question. How has your sort of view on God changed over the years or more recently?
I would say I always have my own personal relationship with God, but for me to understand how God works as a collective over the world is what I always was trying to learn. So it's like I always knew like, okay, I'm gonna be good. I always trust in my heart, always been a person that like moved out of my heart. So when it came to God, it was like it wasn't something I just verbally vocalized. It was something I just knew within, like, okay, God got me. I really love God. I love that I'm created. I love that I'm here. I know that I'm here for a reason. But as I started going to the church and I'm like, this don't really seem godly. So when I wasn't going to church, I was seeing things that also wasn't ungodly, and it really made me realize like, okay, my perspective is already a blessing. So once I started to really dive deeper into my perspective, that's when I really started to change my perspective of God. Cause I always like, you know what? We all come from nature. Like, why isn't nature God? Or why don't they ever talk about Mother Nature in religion? So it wasn't until I started to actually get into high school and getting during the pandemic, I started to really follow up on that belief and started to go and make my own connection with nature. And that's when I started to realize that God shows up on a daily basis as nature. We eat our food from nature, our homes from nature, our clothes from nature. So if God was to be anybody, it would be the physical nature that we live in. And if it wasn't for nature being there, we would have no place to be. So why wouldn't that be our God? And that's when I started to realize the parallels of what they changed from religion when they say that, oh, hell is below your feet, but ain't nature below our feet? So they don't want us to go to hell, but really they don't want you to go connect with nature. Or they say that God is in the sky. So I'm like, if God is in the sky, isn't the sun God? Well, isn't Jesus the son of God? So isn't the son of God? And I'm like, okay, this is all allegorical. This is all about the stars. And then I started to realize that the overlapping of the universe that's been materialized and basically personified into the Bible or into the Quran, into religion. So my perspective of God changed, but I feel like it reverted to what I always knew it was. I was just able to actually put the logistics behind it of what I was feeling.